Good morning, traders. I'm Dennis Dick.
And I'm Joel Elconin. Welcome to Pre-Market Info.
Big merger here this morning. Berkshire Hathaway. Warren Buffett always talks about his ketchup, how much he loves ketchup. Well, he just bought the whole company. Berkshire and 3G acquiring Heinz for 72.50 a share in cash. Interesting enough, it's actually trading above there right now.
Yeah, and actually, when the news came up of Warren's purchase here, we did pop up to 75 in the pre-market. That's probably some shorts.
It got
Just
75. It went. That's the news
yeah,
algo. They overshot again. Even
yeah.
overshoots on a cash deal. Somebody needs to reprogram that thing.
Well, what happened was they saw 72.50, but they didn't see the two, so they thought it was
Misread
75.
that probably. That's
But
funny.
I'll tell you, every time I look at this stock, when we talk about it on the show, and it's not a lot, I look at it and I say, man, I should buy this stock.
Just keeps
I mean,
going.
all it does is go up. Got hit a little bit during the financial crisis,
Yeah.
and we missed the boat on that one, Dennis. But what about some of the other food stocks? You
Yeah,
think
there's
they're
going
going
to
to
be
be
lots
okay?
of sympathy plays here. Get to them in just 1 second. Obviously, the deal 72.50 a share in cash. I just wanted to complain a little bit because I actually had a Heinz. I did buy it back during the day, and I actually had Heinz for a long time. I sold it about 6 months ago at around 59 bucks. Obviously, I'm regretting that sale now. I thought it had been on quite the run when it bottomed at 35 in 2009. I'm like, this stock has basically quietly doubled, or getting close to a double here in the last 2-3 years. I was like, the food stocks ran enough. I'm gonna, the $60 level is a big number. I'm gonna lighten up, and I actually sold my investment in Heinz, and man. Oh, that's disgusting me a little bit here.
You sold it at 61, just based on the
I sold
technicals.
at
Is that why you?
59. Just no, it was more, yeah, a little bit of technicals, but a little bit of fundamentals. I thought, the multiple was expanding a little bit. It had had a heck of a run. I mean, look at the chart. If you go back from the last 3 years, you had that chart up there a second ago, from 35 to 60. And this was an investment. It wasn't a trade. I had had this for quite some time. Obviously, this 35 to 60 had been a really miraculous run. I just thought, from a valuation standpoint, it was fully valued. I'd been getting the dividend all those years too. I had it for a lot of years, so. Regretting it this morning. I didn't get the whole thing, but 72. I had a good trade on it though, or a good investment on it. 72.50 though. Wow, what a move here for Heinz, and what a deal for Berkshire. Let's talk about Berkshire first. BRK.B. That stock actually not trading much here at all. It normally doesn't. Obviously, it's down about 20 cents here, 97.80. It'll be interesting, though, if shareholders will put a premium and say, oh, he's getting a good deal here and give it a little extra, or if they're actually going to knock the stock down. It's only traded, what's it traded here? 500 shares in the pre-market, so 650 shares, so it hasn't traded much here yet.
I've been stuck between 97 and 98 for the past 7 or 8 trading sessions, kind of up near the upper ends of that boundary. So keep an eye on the $98 level, and just boatloads of support at 97. So bouncing around pretty good in between those levels. Use those as parameters if you're trading Brick B or Brick A.
I'm sure a lot of our listeners are interested in the sympathy plays here. Obviously, there's going to be some strength in the food stock sector on this. I noticed Campbell's Soup CPB,
Hmm.
good this morning, trading up $39. It just ticked to. Offered at 38.89, so Campbell's Soup getting a decent lift here in the pre-market. That actually breaks it out to a new high on the move as well. Actually, a new 52-week high there for Campbell Soup at 38.89. It's offered right now.
Yep, not a ton of volume. Big move for this thinly traded stock. Someone's putting their finger here on the offers at 39. Less than 3,000 shares have traded. It's funny how these stocks take a run up, and before, I mean, we've had a
Everything's
bull
been
move
running
in the
though.
market. Yeah,
Yeah.
everything's moved up. But yeah, you gotta wonder, what else is in store for these food companies. Campbell Soup has not been at this level since back in November of 2008, and that's when it hit 39.44. So if this puppy continues to run, keep an eye on that 39.44 level, and also 40 coming back on the downside. It's going to take a while to get into yesterday's range. 38.40 was the high. That will be your support.
Conagra Foods, CAG, another food stock that is trading up here this morning in Sympathy. Just ticked to 34 bucks, trading 33.97 right now. Bid up at 33.75. So Conagra here going to be breaking out to a new 52-week high this morning as well.
34. What do we hit here in the pre-market?
34.10.
34. Yep, 34.10 on the nose. That's going to be your resistance
34 is
point.
big.
Yeah, 34 hasn't been up here in a while, so there could be some stock kicking around at that level. You never know how things are going to react, but you do have major support now at the level that we would have broken out from if it's been regular session. So that 33.50 is now going to be major support. I guess Warren's just figuring, or investors, that people are going to eat no matter what, right?
Well, he always likes to understand his companies. I don't think he can understand catch up much easier, the business anyways. And he actually has been on CNBC before. I've seen him in the past. He's obviously owned shares of Heinz for Berkshire Hathaway. I think he's owned them for quite some time, and he's always been a big catch up fan. So I don't think Berkshire's going to come up here and scoop up other food companies. But you never know if anybody else snoops around here on some of these things. Let's look at a couple other ones. General Mills, GIS, trading up here in the pre-market as well. 43.33, all light volume, but they are getting a lift. They are bid up a little bit here too. And this one's breaking out to a new 52-week high. Same story.
Yep, high 43.33. That's where we're resting here in the pre-market. Couple thousand shares have traded. Stocks breaking out, obviously the new highs here. This one is, if you have the fear of buying gap theories, which I obviously do, where we're trading at now is only 30 cents from yesterday's high, which was 43.09. So you have a couple reference points if you pull back down to the 43 area. If you are going long off the open, that might be a signal for an exit point. Looking at a longer term chart, this has not been up here in a long time. So I like 43 is a real good swing number in this issue.
Kellogg's also up a bit here, just on light volume, 800 shares, but is trading up 59.54 right now. Same story, breaking out here again on the chart. It actually consolidated quite nicely here for the last few days, but is breaking out to a new 52-week high this morning.
Yep, 59.54 is where this Battle Creek, Michigan company is trading at right now. Little bit of volume here, not a lot. Have to go out to the longer term charts to see.
I gotta think 60 bucks too, Joel. Big whole number like that hasn't been up here since. Has it been up to? You gotta keep going back.
Going back to 09, I had to go back a little bit farther here. To find.
I think that's a new all-time high. I can go back to 05 on my charts right now. Joel's still flying back there trying to see if we've been up here, but I think it's a new all-time high for Kellogg's. If not, it's definitely a new 7 or 8 year high for Kellogg's. I don't know if back in the 2000 the bubble if we got up higher than that or not, but wow, big move here for Kellogg. Well, it's trading up here too. I think 60 bucks is a huge number on this stock though. Looking at other ones here, just want to go into, might as well go right into Pepsi actually, Joel, because they reported earnings. Obviously a food stock. I don't think Pepsi and Coke are that related to this, but you never know. They do sell pop. 109 versus 105. Pepsi reports they increased the dividend. They're announcing a $10 billion stock buyback. Stock is trading up here, fairly light volume, 12,000 shares, trading up at 72.90, 73 actually right now in the pre-market. If we look at the charts, you go back to 2007, or actually, no, I'm sorry, you don't have to go back quite that far, but
just go back a few days. We traded 73.
Yeah, I've got the wrong chart up on my own, but you're right. We trade up to 73.46.
Yep, and we also had three tops before that at 73.03, 73.12, and 73.16 in the pre-market. We have bumped up right against that $73 level.
Big.
Yep. So you are opening up into resistance from 73 up to 73.16, going back that other high that Dennis mentioned at 73.46. But, I mean, they're not sending an order right now to buy the $10 billion stock in the pre-market here, so this one could be a little bit overshot. If 73 doesn't hold, we have some real estate to cover on the downside.
Yeah, 73 is definitely a big number on this stock. I'd use that for a swing number. GM reported earnings here this morning, missed by 4 cents, 48 cents against estimates of 52. Stock initially sold off on it under 28 bucks. We ticked there. Joel, grab the pre-market low in 1 second. 20. It's trading back up though and actually holding on quite well. 28.50 right now. It's only down 17 cents on 134,000 shares.
That's a decent amount of
It is.
volume for this stock. 27.85 is what we hit in the pre-market. Since hitting that low, we've started to find resistance just above 28.60 at 28.64. I mean, this is another one of Warren stocks. It's had a very, very nice run here. As of late, been running into trouble at the $29 area. To find support here, you did have a low at 27.88 on February 4th. And then a low below that at 27.61.
Good
So,
support down there in the low
yep, the
28s.
break in the pre-market did go to support levels here we're citing.
Yeah, nice little cup and handle forming too, kind of there, Joel. If you look at it right down there, low. You see the chart you're looking at right now. I'm just looking at those lows from February where it's kind of the little cup, and then you got the last 4 or 5 sessions where it's kind of just consolidating the little handle. Not that we're big pattern traders here. We barely point that stuff out, but just jumps out at me when I look at that chart, kind of like a little cup and handle.
Or a head and shoulders top.
That's the nice thing about technical analysis. You can always look at it from two different points of view and get two different opinions. That's why we have a market. Cisco, CSCO, also reported earnings there last night. Stock, does it do this every time? Bring up the after hours chart. It seems to rally off its initial earnings always, and then it goes for a crazy sell off. It seems like every time it does that. 51 cents against estimates of 48, so they did get an initial spike, and then sold off, got down below $20.40 a couple of times. I actually was trading it after hours. I had a couple nice trades just because I've had played it that way before, where when it gets that spike off the bat, it often gives it back. So I did get lucky to get a little short off after the initial earnings, and then I covered when it pulled back. It is trading flat right now, 21.11, so it's kind of stuck in the middle of the after hours range here.
2160 is what we hit in the pre-market, and it must have been those people listening to John Chambers on CNBC. I mean, he did not have anything negative to say, just how everything was going according to plan. So people got a little bit excited on that. And then they reevaluated the numbers a bit. We dipped under that 2040 level, the 2036, and now we're basically unchanged on the day. So when that happens, let's just go to the daily and just keep an eye on the recent high that we had at 2134. That was 20 some cents below the pre-market high, but I expect resistance there. And that's $21 level. You had a couple lows below there, 2094 and 2093 for the last 2 days. So I think that's going to be major support there.
Whole Foods, WFM, also reported earnings. They actually, just getting the numbers for you. Where were
They
the
were
Whole
bad. You don't have to get the numbers.
Well, they see. I don't know why I didn't write it down. I don't think, but the numbers. But they're seeing 283 to 287 on the full year, and estimates are up at 290. So they did lower guidance here. It's down $6, $6.38 here. So getting beat up pretty good here in the pre-market. Obviously,
yeah, 78 versus 77, but their weak outlook.
yeah, they don't like that part. Obviously, stock traded down a little bit below 90. You can see on the chart. How low did it get there last night on this, Joel?
It got down to $89 on the nose.
Okay, so $89 is your parameter here on Whole Foods from the pre-market trade. So ugly morning for them. It's an ugly morning for a few stocks here. CTL2, CenturyLink, man, they're doing everything wrong. They must have taken a page off of Cliff's notes there yesterday, because they met on earnings 67 versus 67, but the revenue was light. They're lowering their quarterly dividend, lowering their sales estimates. Citigroup, J.P. Morgan, Jefferies, Raymond James, bunch of others downgrading the stock this morning. Everything going wrong at CTL, absolutely getting taken out and beaten behind the woodshed. 34.47 is where it's trading right now after closing at 41.69.
Yep, the old redheaded stepchild here beating the stocks, taking 34 though. Look at these lows. We've had a couple lows here in the $34 level, 34.08, 34.10, 34.20. So if you are, very adventurous this morning and you're looking to, buy something down almost 20%, $34 might be a place that you want to take a shot on this one. Looking at the dailies,
Yeah,
got to
it's
go
you got to go
longer
way
term than
out to the
that. Yep,
weeklies, really.
yep. Going out to the weeklies
You got
on
to
this.
go out
Not
to the
That's
monthlies.
not good enough. You got to figure it's down $7.
2011.
Uh,
Got to get out to 2011.
Yep, you had a low 34.11. So you guys have been shorted 34.11 since November of 2011. This may be your chance to cover here. I just wanted to go real quickly back to the Whole Foods here.
Yep.
This stock is awfully, falling off a cliff here. You really did have some support at 86.85. That was your low in January. Haven't quite reached that in the pre-market. But just a little bit of fundamental discussion on this. Have you ever shopped in one of these
No, I've never
places?
been in one, and I've heard good things about it. Have you been in one of those?
So expensive.
Yeah,
I'm
well, healthy
telling
food
you,
is expensive. I know we do that. Joel, or my wife does that juicing every once in a while, and to make like a glass of orange juice takes like 6 oranges. So you think, oh, I'm eating, drinking
it's
healthy, but
ridiculously expensive.
yeah.
Ridiculously
But some
expensive.
people
So
don't
I,
care with their health. They think, obviously medical bills are expensive too. So if you can stay healthy over the years, maybe you have less medical bills. Speaking of healthy, Weight Watchers also reported earnings, WTW, and it's people aren't losing weight here. They're not dieting anymore, or what? Because this stock's down $9 here on the earnings. They actually they beat on the number 96 versus 87, but they see $3.40 to $4 for the full year. Estimates were up at 474, so that's a major lower here. That's obviously upset the shareholders big time, and we are getting beat up this morning here. You got to go back into to find a low 46.65 on November 2nd. We're below that too. Joel, I'll have to go try to find some support lower than that.
Yeah, well, first of all, our first reference point is 45.06 in the pre-market. That's where the initial spike took us down to. Now you're just getting kind of a slow drifting rally here. 46.50 is now acting as resistance. Going out to a longer-term chart here, you did have some lows at the 46.38 area. We are below that. Below that, there was a spike low at 40.60, but something tells me this pre-market low might hold up in this one today, way down at 45.06.
Barrick Gold ABX is trading up a little bit on their earnings, a buck 11 versus a buck 06. This is a stock I've had in my investment portfolio for a while here. It hasn't done well here in the last 2 years, just keeps drifting down as the market. It's your classic play as the market shows strength, gold shows weakness, and these gold stocks are no exception. They just keep drifting lower. Long term, I think there's some value here, but short term, the trend does not look good. It looks like a broken stock here. You do have some support down here at the $31 level where we bottomed on July 27th. But you start getting below there, and you could see, that 20s again.
When are interest rates going up? Tell me. That's when
Interest rates are
that's
never going up.
okay. Then gold's never going up. You
Well,
need some kind of inflationary, fear, the interest rates going up, because if not, this is just going to grind lower.
Well, you need fear in the market. This is really when gold will start to, when the market all of a sudden starts to turn around, everybody gets nervous about the market again, which nobody is nervous now. You can see everybody's jumping on the bandwagon. Mutual fund inflow was the highest it was in 6 or 7 years or something like that from last month. So everybody wants to be in a bull market, and everybody wants in now, and nobody wants to own their gold. So gold is forgotten, and it's going to be continued to be forgotten until there's another financial crisis, or there's another market meltdown, or there's another flash crash or something. That's when gold will get some interest here again. But until then, very hard to be long gold. We did have another merger too, American Airlines and U.S. Airways, which is LCC, announcing that they're merging. This has been on the table for a while. U.S. Airways is trading up here, $15.10. 14.66 is where it closed. So getting a little bit of lift for LCC.
How did they come out with that symbol LCC for U.S.
It
Airways?
always screws me up too. They changed the symbol a little while ago, and I don't know if anybody knows that. You can shout it out here from our live audience. I don't know how they came up with LCC for a symbol. I guess the UAG was probably taken U.S. Airways Group, so they chose
Okay.
LCC. Interesting.
1512 is our high back from 4 days ago, bumping up against that in the pre-market. If in fact we take that out, the recent high of the move has been at over the $15.50 level at 15.64. Be a pretty good leap for its stock to reach that level. In the pre-market, we haven't even approached the double top from Monday, or excuse me, from Tuesday and Wednesday at 15.15 to 15.17. So for now, it's opening up into resistance.
Maybe a quick chart on Apple here. We're running short on time, so we're not going to be able to get to all your earnings and all your plays. But Apple did almost get down to that 460 level there. It couldn't quite get there. Got into the 463 handle. Then it got a little bounce yesterday. If you look at yesterday's chart, it got a little bounce. Can you bring up yesterday's chart there, Joel? Just so we can show the recent action in Apple. It Yeah, so basically, well, okay, early in the morning it got down to 463, bounced to 473, and then, yeah, there you go. And then it started to pull back here, and it's finding some decent support in this 464, 463 area. I still like the 460 number. I still think it's drifting down where it's going to eventually try that 460 level.
Yeah, I think I saw like a Bank America, reiteration of a buy or something, price target of 500 during the day that might have boosted that up a little bit. 460 the area would mark the 50% retracement roughly of our move from 435 to 485. So that would be a good level to test the waters here to see if the actual 435 is actually going to be the low in Apple.
Overall market thoughts, we're pulling back a little bit here. We have lifted, though, really since the Heinz announcement there. I don't know if maybe the merger got the markets jumping a little bit. Warren Buffett's been on CNBC. Maybe he's popped it up a bit, too, because we were just down at 1510. If you show the overnight chart, Joel, I'd like to see that. 1510 is where we got down to on the S&P just a little while ago. And Warren Buffett came on at 8 o'clock. You can see since 8 o'clock, he was on for about 25 minutes on CNBC. The market's popped up 4 points, so maybe Buffett giving a little bit of bullishness to this overall market here, and we're only down $3 now.
Yeah, when I woke up this morning, 5:30 to check the quote, 6 o'clock, I saw the S&P's down 6, and I thought there was something wrong with my computer.
Market
I
goes
called
down.
TradeStation. I started banging my computer. I'm like, there's no way the S&P's could be down 6.
That doesn't happen.
It's got to be. It just doesn't happen. It's just
Not
a
in
calamity.
2013.
Yeah, I didn't know if like World War III started or what happened because the market was down that much, and lo and behold, we've drifted back up. We had mild support at 15.13. We did take that out in the pre-market. That was a Wednesday's low, so that's not as a relevant number. But really, in order to get this market going in reverse in any kind of measure, we got to take out the lows from Monday and Tuesday at 15.0850 to 15.0975, and we got just above that in the pre-market to 15.10. So did test some major support during the overnight session. Don't know if we're going to get there during the regular session.
That's our show for today, folks. Have a great trading session, and we will be back with you guys tomorrow.